Now the car that we're working on is a Honda Accord. All sunroofs are the same on them. They'll have drain holes in the corner. What I wanted to show you on this car is that it had an air deflector that went here. You can see the dirt line and the dirt here. This dirt between the seals is what causes a gap in the seal for water to come through. So when it's raining, instead of the water going away, it's actually going into the floorboard. Now, this dirt allows water to go into this channel right here. And in this channel, there's little holes right back here in the corner. There's one here and one on that side. And those will get clogged up. So what we're going to do is we're going to check them to see if they're clogged. Now this is the drain hole on the driver's side that I'm talking about right here. I'll put my finger over top of it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some weed eater string. I've got a big spool of it beside me. And what I'm gonna take, because it's flexible, but it's not too rigid, and I'm gonna run this down this hole to see if it's jammed up. So just take it and start feeding it through. This is not what we want to see. This is the whole reason why when the sunroof is leaking, it's running into my driver's side. Because as you see, this is where my weed eater string come out. Now let me show you where it was supposed to come out. All right, so what I found out to be easier for me, because I'm a big guy, is to take my tire out of the way. So I jacked it up, took my tire off. I've pulled my fender pins out so that way I can take my inner fender liner loose. And the piece I'm gonna look for is right up inside here. So let's go here next. All right, so now while I'm up in here, this is the drain that I was looking for. And right here it is where it's supposed to come out. So my weed eater string should have come out of here. That way when it drains down outside the car, not inside the floorboard. So now we're gonna go back to underneath the dash and find out why it turned and went in instead of coming out. All right, so I'm trying to shoot this one-handed. This boot right here, that is where the drain goes. So the hose has come loose. But this is what I want you to look for. So reach in there and put your hand on there and touch this. And if the hose is not hooked to it, that's where it's draining. So basically what's happening every time it rains is the hose is dumping out inside here. So wherever the other end of this hose is now is where it's dripping out into the floorboard. So as soon as I reconnect this will fix my problem. So here's a different angle. I took the fuse box panel off inside the door and went inside with it. And right here you can see this brown looking hose. That's the one right there. So you see where it's cut at like a 45-degree angle. That's where the water is running back into the floorboard. So I'm gonna try to put a splice in that and hook it back up to that boot. So there's a piece of this rubber hose that's missing. Unfortunately, this hose runs right inside the A-pillar. So I've taken the inside piece off and you can't get to that hose. So it's actually inside this channel. So there's got to be some other way of getting to it, but I don't know without taking the headliner down how to do it. So I'm gonna see if I can put a splice in this and just hook it back up to my boot. All right, so what it is, I went in and I pulled this rubber boot out of that hole right there. The hole you can see all the way into the car. And then I went and found me just a little piece of metal tube that's the same size as that brown pipe, but that piece of that brown plastic hose is missing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add me a little bit to it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the piece that is the drain. And so what I'm going to do is I found me a piece of rubber hose that's going to fit inside here, just like this. And then this metal piece here will go up inside of the brown hose inside. So next video I'll show you I'll have it in place. All right, so it took me an extra minute or two, but now, see if I can get up here where you can see this. There's my boot, there's my little metal piece in there, and there's the brown hose. So they're all hooked together and going outside the car. And now, just to test them, pour a little bit of water in the vent up here at the top, so it'll run out. And we should be watching it run out right here. See it dripping? That'll keep it from running out into my floorboard now.